it's Nikachu, and today we are playing Premodern. I would say one of my favorite formats right now, and it's really invigorated my love of the game as it goes back to really classic dynamics of Magic the Gathering strategy. So I'll show you the deck that I have been developing as I have been developing my knowledge of the format. Now, of course, I'm really known for being a Merfolk player, but genuinely, I am mostly a blue player. I like playing blue decks, and I have tried to make like Merfolk work. And on my journey, I started with a shell like this, which is like a very old Miracle Grow list from like old extended, where you had like Merfolk Looter, Lord of Atlantis, Quirion Dryad, and Gaia Skyfolk. And I eventually mutated this list into, or slowly adapted and changed into the deck that I have today. Which unfortunately cuts Lord of Atlantis, but we still have Gaia Skyfolk over here, which I think is actually my favorite creature in the deck. It's a 2-mana 2/2 with evasion. It's got flying. It's really hard to have stats like this in Premodern. Okay, so going over the deck list, it is, I mean, technically, I would say it's a Miracle Grow list, even though I think the card I like the least in this deck is Quirion Dryad. It's a 2-mana 1/1. When you cast a spell that's white, blue, black, or red, you get a counter on this creature. I find it's actually quite clunky. It's quite slow. Not a huge fan of Quirion Dryad, although I am playing with the deck, and frankly, my win percentage is the best when I'm playing with Quirion Dryad. Cards that I like more are the Gaia Skyfolk. That it's like a 2-mana 2/2 in the air. You just slowly, deal damage in the air. I like it. I like it more than anything. And Werebear, which I think is really, really good in this type of deck. It's a 2-mana 1/1 that taps for a mana, but if you have 7 cards in your graveyard to achieve threshold, it's a 3/3 creature. So it's basically the Tarmogoyf of the format. And because it adds mana, that helps you cast multiple cards a turn, whether it be Gaia Skyfolk and also playing with Counterspell at the same time, and also has really good synergy with Winter Orb, which we'll get to later. The deck is playing with a ton of cantrips. I don't understand these other decks that don't play with so many cantrips. So we got 4 Opt, 4 Sleight of Hand, and 4 Portent to help fuel your graveyard for your Werebear. Like consistently find your creatures, find counter spells. I find that I think it's strange. There's not a lot of decks playing with a lot of cantrips. They're playing like somewhat like 8. And I don't know. I mean, maybe 12 is too many, and maybe it can be shaved down to maybe it can be shaved down to 10, and still have Mox Diamond to be played on turn 1. But I like to have a whole lot of turn 1 plays, and I think it's made my deck a lot more consistent. We have 4 Counterspell, just a very solid Counterspell for the format. 2 Foil. I would like to up it to 3. And maybe I can dump 2 Sleight of Hands, and we add a Daze, we add a Foil. Foil is quite good for this deck. It's the Force of Will of the format. Not as good, but balanced, which has synergy with Gush, as you draw 2 cards and you draw 2 cards and also put 2 islands into your hand, which can be discarded to your foil. Not to mention, Gush has great synergy in this deck with Mox Diamond. Mox Diamond appears to be, unfortunately, this is like a really expensive card, which makes Premodern a little prohibitive in paper if you're not playing with proxies. But this is like the glue to the format. This is like it's like the mana dork of the format. So I really like Mox Diamond in this deck because you can Gush and then redeploy one of the lands you put into your hand with Mox Diamond, which again has synergy with Winter Orb, and also just tempo in general, so that you have more mana than your opponent does available on any given turn. So yeah, Gush is good. Daze, I have 2 Dazes. You don't want to go overboard with Daze. It's easy to play around. Everyone plays around Daze post board, so having 2 is perfect. Maybe 3 is fine too. This deck does put pressure on people to force them to tap out, but not too much. So having too many Dazes can be a liability, but I like having the 2. 4 Flooded Strand. The purpose is to fill the graveyard for your Werebear, but in addition to that, you can manipulate the top of your library with Portent, which is the Ponder of the format, except you're drawing the card on your opponent's turn. So you look at the top 3 cards of your deck, you put them back in any order. You can shuffle the deck or not, but then you're drawing a card on your opponent's turn. And then after you've drawn the good card, you can shuffle the bad cards away with your Flooded Strand. Okay, now let's talk about the spicy part of this deck. It's also an Oath of Druids deck. the enchantment for 2 mana. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, that player chooses target player who controls more creatures than they do. Okay, so if your opponent has more creatures than you do, you reveal cards on the top of your deck until you hit a creature card, put it onto the battlefield. In general, I find that whenever I'm playing a Merfolk or Tempo style deck, I have trouble, like especially versus Goblins, which is a super popular deck in this metagame. And I would say Sly is also going to be a very challenging deck. They attack on many angles. They have free spells like Fire Blast. They play with Cursed Scroll. It's a very powerful deck and one of the most popular ones. So I mean, this card just shafts them. I mean, this Oath of Druids plan is great versus, I think, with some of the more challenging decks in the format. With the exception of Elves, I think this deck is still very poor versus Elves, even if I get this Oath of Druids off. So yeah, Oath of Druids, we either get this cheat the thing in play with Oath of Druids, or if our opponent's being stubborn, not playing a creature, then we can show and tell either, we can show and tell our Akroma Angel of Wrath in play, and which also is very good with all these cantrips. So the cantrips help us find our combo. So the idea is we're going to side out Quirion Dryad, Werebear, Gaia's Skyfolk, get rid of them, put the combo put the combo into the deck. And I think by default I want to have the creatures, because if you're up against a control deck, then you're just close to stone dead versus them, because the Oath of the Druids will be dead and it'll be really hard to resolve a show and tell versus the control decks. So by default I want the creature plan, and then depending on the matchup I want to bring in the scary Akroma Angel of Wrath plan. By the way, flying, first strike, vigilance, trample, haste, protection from black and from red, so you can bring it in versus... I don't know if, like, I'm a little, against all the red decks, it's perfect. Against all the black decks, I'm not entirely sure. Maybe it's good, maybe it's not. Maybe I should be playing, because the black decks will have a lot of hand discard, which is not good for you when you're playing a, like, combo deck. Okay, Winter Orb. Oh boy, do I have a lot to say about this card. This is undisputedly the most overrated card in this format. Like, I can't believe how many people are just gushing over Winter Orb, the 2-mana artifact. As long as this artifact is untapped, players can't untap more than 1 land during their untap step. I have no idea what the environment was like in the past in Premodern, but everyone's like, Winter Orb, you have to have main deck Winter Orb. Winter Orb is so good. It's so much value. No! It's terrible. It is so bad versus so many decks. Oh, do you have a mana dork, like a Werebear or a Birds of Paradise or a Llanowar Elf? Well, then this card is garbage and you're tempoing yourself out. Oh, does your opponent play with Mox Diamond? You're tempoing yourself out again. Is your opponent just really mana efficient? Are they playing with Gush and Daze and free counter spells? You're tempoing yourself out again. If this card was so good, why isn't Stifle not playing it, which would be like the quintessential deck that would utilize Winter Orb? Because it's garbage. It is so bad. It will tempo you out more than it tempos them out. Now, I think this shell is very good for Winter Orb, but if you look at all the top decks, it's none of them will care, except one type of archetype, which I think we need help against, and that's the control decks. So any blue-white control deck, mono blue, mono black, all the control decks, I think are weak to Winter Orb, and I also think we need the help versus them. They're very powerful, very strong decks. The counterspells are very good. Their control elements are very good. And their win condition are lands most of the time. So Winter Orb is going to be very, very good versus those decks. And of course, again, because we play with Werebear and Mox Diamond, that Winter Orb will be in our favor more than it's against our opponents. But in the grand scheme of the format, Winter Orb just affects nobody. Okay, the odds are it's going to hurt us more than it's going to hurt the opponent. But in the control matchups, Winter Orb is going to hurt the opponent more than it's going to hurt us. So I think it is good enough to bring in that very specific matchup. But I think everyone talking about, oh, you have to have main deck Winter Orb in your Merfolk deck or this or that. No. I don't know what the metagame was like before, but the metagame now, it's so terrible versus everything unless you're a control deck. Then it's actually good. But I can't main deck this card just for that matchup. It's a colorless card, doesn't have synergy with Quirion Dryad. I just can't do it. And I don't think our matchup versus control game 1 is so bad that I also need Winter Orb. Okay. With that, okay, let's play 3 matches with my Miracle Grow Oath Merfolk deck. So for game 1, we won the die roll, and we're going to be keeping this hand. Oh no, we lost the die roll. Well, I'm going to keep this hand anyway. Our opponent plays Island and passes. Opponent says they love the content. That's great. You're part of it right now. So Island Pass. I don't really want to play Portent for no reason, but at the same time, I want to be holding up Counterspell and maybe other cards at the same time later. So let's play Portent. Let's get that Let's get Portent on. Let's get our Portent on. We have Gaia's Skyfolk and a bunch of lands. I'm not particularly inspired by this range of cards because we already have a lot of lands. We do have only one threat. You know what? Let's just any order this thing and we'll shuffle. I don't think we need more threats at this point. Next turn I'm probably going to tap out for like a Werebear. Probably. I don't guarantee anything. Mishra's Factory. Okay, so this is Monoblue. Monoblue control. Okay, Mox Diamond is really good. Combos with Gush. In that you can bounce the lands back to hand and replay at least one of the lands as a Mox Diamond. Maybe I'm not going to do anything. Yeah, we better just do some Passaroonies for a little while. They're not going to do anything. We're not going to do anything. It's all good. Accumulated knowledge. Sure. Darkar Wastes. Fine. I'm just going to end of turn opt. We need to be conscious about Parallax Tide because it will just completely wipe our board. I don't need more islands. We can put that on the bottom. Side of hand's not bad. Sleight of hand. It's okay. It's okay. Whoops. Yeah, it's not Portent. Queer Undried looks great. Okay, so by next turn, I think we're going to be playing some cards. We're going to be playing some cards because we are going to be able to play cards with Counterspell backup. And also, it's nice to have the Naturalize in our hand. Ooh, and guys, Skyfolk. That's fantastic. I don't want to use the Mox Diamond just yet because I might want to use Gush to play things. But they also missed on a land drop. We could wait one more turn here. Do we want to wait one more turn? Okay, we can wait one more turn. Because if they miss their land drop, they're going to have to discard to hand size. Then we're going to have one extra card in our hand by our next turn. They play something big here. What is this? Oh, it's this card, the Decree of Justice. So they're cycling it, and they get a soldier. Or they're just cycling it? Oh, they just need the land drop. Oh, this is blue-white. Oh, okay, then they have got Wraths of Gods and stuff like that. It also means I think they have less counter magic. Okay, they made a land drop. It's actually possible we're gonna... Are we gonna Gush? No, we don't need to Gush just yet. Okay, let's start off with Crown Dryad. So if they've got Counterspell, I guess we can counter back. If they have Mana Leak, we'll just pay for it. Yeah, we're gonna pay. I'm fine with that. We can pay. Got Force Spike. No Force Spike. All right, let's draw some cards then and reset some lands. Because we can replay some lands with Mox Diamond. Okay, Sword Splasher is fine. Actually, am I drawing too many cards here? Hopefully not. No, we're still good. And we still have an extra island for this Gush over here. I played my land, right? Yeah. I mean, against Controlled, I may not win game one. The games are to be won on the sideboard. That's where I really plan to win my games. So we'll play this thing. Let's get a Werebear out. Werebear is quite okay. I have some counter magic, which is nice. If we can get our opponent to tap out, it'd be really good to use the Daze, because the Daze isn't very valuable in this matchup. I'm going to continue to play around... I'm going to continue to play around, what's it called? Mana Leak. This is another one of those cycle guys. It is. It's free value. So if anyone doesn't know, if anyone's new to Premodern here, Decree of Justice is a well, it's a cycle card for 3 mana, and when you cycle this card, you can pay X. If you do, create X 1/1 white soldier creature tokens. Seal of Cleansing. Not thrilled about that, but I'm not unhappy. It's not something I want to fight over with Counterspell. And also, they're going to feed my graveyard for Werebear. My Werebear! Ooh, we got foil in the Gush combo coming up. Well, let's make use of this before we lose it. What do they even have Seal of Cleansing in here for? If you're not going to, like, burn it on this. Well, I mean, they probably think I'm some sort of regular grow deck of some sort. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Would like to attack this turn, but I have nothing really. I could return 2 lands back to hand, and it does nothing. Just does absolutely nothing. Okay, well, no, but maybe we'll find. Okay, maybe we'll find a cantrip. So we'll Gush. Or is this going to be stupid? It was almost stupid. Okay. I didn't realize how dumb that was. Another Kuron Dried and a Flooded Strand. Okay, that works out. You know what? We're going to keep this. So we're going to say, okay. And then we're going to order it. Okay, Island goes on the bottom. Flooded Strand comes next. And then Kuron Dried goes on top. So, no, we're going to draw the Kuron Dried. We're going to draw the Island. Sorry, the Flooded Strand. And that will shuffle the Island away on the following turn. So we can shoot. That's basically what it's in there for. We got a lot of counter magic. If we can get our opponent to tap out a little bit, that'd be fantastic. Get some use out of this daze. Unfortunately, there's no Supreme Verdict in this format. Hooray. Couldn't be more happy about that. Accumulated Knowledge. Okay, this is worth 2 cards now, not 1. If it has 4 mana up, yeah, we can counterspell this. Let's make sure that we're not going to fall behind on cards. Also, even if our opponent like makes land drops, that's going to make days more awkward. Not something I want to happen. We have our Flooded Strand. Let's immediately play it, crack it, get an island. Is there any reason to do anything? No, not really. Okay, so we can attack. They could activate Mishra's Factory, block the Werebear. That'd be fine. They could block Werebear, pump it up to a 3/3, and then kill off the Werebear, but it would also kill off some of their resources. I played my land. Kuron Dryad, you're back. Hopefully better than ever. Still in very, very good shape here. They wanted to do something, but they decided against it. And so if we have a big war over, say, a Wrath of God, I mean, I think we're going to win it. Now, to be honest, I can't do anything with this Kuron Dryad yet, because the stupid Mishra's Factory sitting over here. But we did top deck Guy's Skyfolk. That's convenient. Okay, let us almost get completely in. Yeah, I'm going to wait on this Dryad for a little while. Uh-oh, something big is about to happen here. Is this where, like, I really needed a stifle? Am I going to get Decree of Justiced for a lot? Okay, yeah, and I can't do anything about that. Really needed stifle here. But I don't have a stifle. So it's going to kill off the Werebear, which is fine. We can follow this up with a Guy's Skyfolk. And so we'll start swinging in the air. And that's why I like Guy's Skyfolk. I think this is an underrated card. And I still don't know why our opponent's sitting on this Seal of Cleansing. Oh, they're not going to kill the Werebear. They're going to chump block for days, which I guess that's fine. I guess that's fine. I have nothing against that. All right, we see a fetch. An immediate fetch. We're going for it? No, we're not going for it. Well, I'm a little concerned. Keep going down on my cards here. Because this is what? This is going to be 3 cards? Okay, we're going to counter this. It grows the Kuron Dryad. No, don't. Oh, you have your own counter spell. Oh, that's neat. Let's Gush. Because we can. So there's no mana leak. Oh! Oh! What the hell? So what do I want to do here? Okay, there's nothing. Oh, I'm so vulnerable. Oh, I forgot, actually. I have this naturalized for this stupid Mishra's factory, so that if they ever attacked, it wouldn't work. I'm just wondering, is it worth foiling the counter spell to draw 2 cards to maybe counter the accumulated knowledge, or do I just counter accumulated knowledge and then we just go on with our day? I think I'm supposed to counter the accumulated knowledge, and then what's the power we have here? We have a lot of power. We'll close the game out in a few turns. Like, our opponent will be forced to kill off the board. I guess I'll just keep the days just in case. Crown Dread is going to be huge. Okay, I think we won. I'm surprised our opponent had that much counter magic, to be honest. That's a lot of counter magic. Do I want to opt now or later? I might want to opt later. Okay, swing them in. Here come the chump blockers. If they had Wrath of God, I'd be pretty disappointed. But that's life. Another Werebear, we're going to keep that on top, so that's going to be some insurance just in case our opponent plays Wrath. We got a second Werebear, so we're just going to hoard those in our hand for now. I think this is just going to chump block something. There's no point to I don't think there's a point to naturalize it. Or is it? Hold on. Oh yeah, it is, because they die. They'll die instantly if this thing doesn't block, because they have to chump block. Both the Werebear and the Crown Dryad are lethal. Yeah, naturalize not useless. It's a neat card, actually. The Goblin decks have it in the main deck because it like has play versus like everything, just literally everything. Every deck has something to hit. They're gonna swords my creature. That's fine. Still got a lot of creatures. I still have lethal by next turn. Board wipe. Board wipe. Okay, they conceded. So I would say game 1 is not easy, but games 2 and 3 get pretty easy. And they get easier because of Winter Orb. Winter Orb is just a bomb in this matchup. So like I hate how people are just overrating Winter Orb, like, oh, you got to play in every matchup. No, you actually. So the key to Winter Orb, you want it against decks that have no mana dorks, no artifact mana, and decks that are not mana efficient. They are using up their mana a ton, like Control. Like, remember how they cycled all those creatures in play with what is it called? The decree of something? What is that stupid thing called? Decree of Justice. Oh, you can even see it here. Where's the Decree of Justice? Show us again. Show us some justice. There it is. Decree of Justice. So this card inherently wants you to tap out to get the most value out of it. And that's what Blue-Eye Control is all about. And all the control decks, they're all trying to use up their mana over and over and over and over again. But they can't do that if you have Winter Orb out. So their counter spells get super clunky super fast. What else gets really clunky? Yeah, their counter spells get clunky. They can't attack with their main. I mean, they can win with Decree of Silence, but one of their other main ways of winning are with the creature lands, Mishra's Factory and Fairy Conclave. So anyway, it is very good in this matchup, and I think it's just hot trash versus any non-control matchup. Okay, cards we're gonna take out. We're gonna take out Daze because they're gonna play around it the best that they possibly can, and I'll get rid of one Sleight of Hand. Just get rid of one cantrip. We can live with. Do I take out Naturalize? No, Naturalize can hit a. I want to say it hits something. Powder Keg. It hits Powder Keg just in case they bring that in against us. So Like, it's in some sense, I'm like, I want to get rid of, I want to get rid of the disenchant. It looks useless, but it actually has some purpose. Hand looks great. We can keep this. That looks very strong. Anytime I see Mox Diamond and Gush in the same hand, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful hand to see. I might... Do I want to straight up go for it turn 1 for a Werebear? Werebear on turn 1 is great. But maybe I'm going to play just Sleight of Hand first. Maybe we're going to play this slightly slow. Yamamaya Coast is not that valuable, so I could just ramp out a Werebear, and then in the future we can go Sleight of Hand Gaia Skyfolk. Okay, let's play a little greedy here. I'm pretty sure. Well, I mean, it's like Swords to Plowshares or bust here. They don't. I don't think a lot of decks play Force Spike. Ooh, Kuron Dryad. It's probably gonna eat a counterspell. If it doesn't eat a counterspell, which it didn't, alright. It's a little concerning. It's getting scary. Probably want an island. Ooh, Winter Orb! That's actually too strong. Yeah, we'll definitely take that. Definitely take that. Oh, this wasn't a fetch land. It looks like a fetch land. It's one of those sky cloud things. No, you gotta add mana. Gotta add blue or white. Take a damage. Do you take a damage? Oh no, you don't need to add mana. Okay, accumulated knowledge. Knowledge is accumulated. I wonder what this is like in the mirror. It must be crazy. Are you missing land drops? Ooh, Meddling Mage. What are you gonna go for? What would you go for? This is like a weird card to bring in versus me. Gush? Alright, you got it. You got me, player. Let's attack. I don't want to tap out, so I'm gonna just attack here. They can't make a good block here. It'd be insane because I could play Opt at instant speed. So this is like, it's a good semi bluff. If you block, then you know, whatever. I didn't lose much. Let's do this. And now we have the massive combo here. Look, we have a Mana Dork. We have Mox Diamond, so we're gonna have like way more mana than our opponent is going to have for the rest of the game. That is perfectly fine with me. Perfectly fine. Look, they're just tapped out. They're so far away from like Supreme. Sorry, playing a. Ooh, I have another Werebear. I think. Yeah, let's just play it. Why not? Let's jam out another Werebear. More mana dorks. So next turn I could go... Well, I can't go Skyfolk and actually hold up counterspell. I thought I could. I cannot. Well, this is a little annoying. Although I don't even have the mana for Gush at the moment anyway. Okay, this is nice. Ooh, now I do have mana for Gush. So we go Island, Skyfolk, and start beating in the air. Cool beans. This is just going to absolutely destroy our opponent. I mean, despite they are getting mana screwed, but the moment they tap out for anything, it just puts them behind like several turns. Nope. Nope. No. We can't have that. We can't have Seal of Cleansing around here. We're slowly building our graveyard. Come on, cantrips. I need more cantrips. Foil is good. It'll be great. When I just need to draw an island now. Or we need this Meddling Mage off the battlefield somehow. Off. I want it off the battlefield. Go Werebears! Oh, they can't play the spells. Time to go to the cleanup step. Ooh, another guy's Skyfolk. It's fine with me. They probably have counter spells in hand, but they just can't play them. Because they're choked on mana. They threw away a Wrath of God. Alright, let's see if this game's about to get serious. Sleight of Hand, that is awesome. Another guy's Skyfolk and a Portent. I'm going to take the Portent. I'm probably should do nothing and just attack for 2. I should attack for 4 in the air. Next turn we can play Portent. Because if I need to hold up the double blue for to counter a Wrath of God. There's a Mishra's Factory. We're gonna fetch to 8. We're going to 8 here. Another Meddling Mage. I don't know what this is gonna name, but I'm gonna counter it. It was probably gonna name Counterspell or something. Okay, so now we need. We need an island in our hand is what we need. Alright, let's go Portent. We need to find an island. We did find it. So we're going to say, okay. Put, probably... Maybe... I actually don't know how to stack these. So if someone is like a master of Sleight of Hand and Portent, we're like, what do I want to have on top? Do I want to have Portent on top? And then like give myself to get the option of Sleight of Hand? That sounds about right, but it's not instant speed. So we're going to keep the island definitely on top. Use Portent's ability. No way. I want that island for later. So now we've got... Well, actually, we could gush immediately. So now we're just super in the driver's seat at this point because we can attack for 8. They have to block with Meddling Mage. I didn't even need the island. Island wasn't necessary. Alright, they go to 1, and they can't even fetch with the Flooded Strand. And we had everything. Complete control of the game. I think this matchup is very, very good for this deck. Like, even if I throw game 1, I think the Winter Orb helps us so much going into games 2 and 3. But actually, no, I like games 1 and 2 as well. Sorry, game 1 as well. Alright, let's get into game 2. For our second match, we also lost the die roll. We have a hand I don't think you can throw away. If you've got like a 1-lander with a cantrip, you just got to keep it. We have 4 looks to find a second land. And also the Evamai Coast is pretty good because we can cast Quirion Dread. We can basically cast our entire hand off of this. So let's just not hope we're not up against Mono Red Burn or something. That would be very, very painful. Very, very, very painful. Oh, we might be up against another control deck. That would be funny. It would be very funny. 2 times in a row versus control. The format is quite diverse. I don't know. This hand is okay. I guess we'll go Sleight of Hand, Portent, Forest. And we will not shuffle. And I guess we're just going to go for a Quirion Dread on turn 2. Just hope it resolves and then start playing... I'll probably play Sky as Skyfolk to follow it up. I have to say, the Forest is like the one land in the deck I hate the most, but I really don't want to throw it away or replace it with City of Brass, because then I think the deck can get really painful. Yeah, it looks like we're up against control again. Alright, let's start. I can't afford to hold up anything, so... let's just... Whoops. Let's not take damage for no reason. Let's just start throwing some creatures into counterspells. Okay, I don't mind that. This might be an accumulated knowledge. Maybe this is just not what I think it is. No accumulated knowledge, no cantrip, no counterspell. Oh, is it enchant? Is it replenish? Maybe it's replenish. And I am shielded down here. Unfortunately. What the hell is this? Carter's Desire. Enchant creature can't attack. Enchant creature can't block as long as there are 7 or more cards in your graveyard. That's fine. I don't know what this deck is. I don't know what's going on. Oh, and I have a Naturalize. That's sick. It's like a bad Swords to Plowshares. So let's grow our Quirion Dryad while secretly holding Naturalize at the same time. I just want to get some random stuff on the battlefield. Let's just get some random stuff. Let's get some pressure. Mox Diamond is not very useful right now. Let's attack for 2. It looks like it's just control, and this is just an alternative to Swords to Plowshares, or an addition. That is gonna happen. We'll just play another one. Are they like counterspell-less or something? That's what I love about this guy's Skyfolk. Look at this. These Mishra factories can block. The second forest. This is like, I mean, I can play Mox Diamond, but this is very similar to like getting two Ottawaras in the other formats. These are both sorcery, which is very awkward. Okay, let's play Mox Diamond. It's probably not going to get countered. Probably not. No guarantees. I do need more mana, though. Does this resolve? I don't like any of these things. I mean, I like the Werebear, I guess. But it's... I might shuffle this away. My hand desperately needs an island. I think I'm going to shuffle this away, even though it looks... I'd prefer, like, some random land. I'd prefer a random land at this point. And it's not going to be... And the random land that we get is probably not going to be a forest, because there's only 2 forests in my deck. I'll just pass the turn. We'll try to play Naturalize at end of turn. And we got the Werebear that was on top of the deck anyway. Maybe do I want to use Naturalize? If I use Naturalize, then I can't hit one of these Mishra's factories. Like, what else am I going to use this on? So I hit this, they block with a factory. Alright, let's just make them tap out a little bit. And where's the counter spells to this deck? Or is it here? Oh, now do we see the counter spells? Okay. Alright, that's fine. That's okay with me. That's a-okay. Alright, we found our second land. So I can go Werebear into... and hold up counterspell at the same time. And also, once we have 4 mana up, we can be holding up foil as well. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay, our opponent was thinking about doing something, but they decided against it. I guess because maybe they're ready to go board wipe into Mana Leak. And that would be a 2-for-1. Or maybe not. Okay, another Yavimaya Coast. We'll just keep all the lands on the battlefield. It doesn't hurt me, so let's play Sleight of Hand right now. Ooh, I found another Naturalize. I'll take that. Turns the Quirion Dryad on again. Oh, I can't attack with the Werebear yet. Attack for 2 then. We can pay for Mana Leak on the way back. Is this gonna be the Decree card? Oh, Factor Fiction. Hell no. In my opinion. That's too many cards. Play Mana Leak. Learn about Werebear. Oh no. Well, it's going to resolve. It's going... Yeah, it's going to resolve. Standstill, Dust Bowl. All these cards suck. I guess except for the Decree of Justice. Okay, so this is their best card. I had to make these piles. I haven't made piles in such a long time. The Dust Bowl doesn't look that valuable versus us. I mean, sure, go after my Yavimaya Coast. I don't care. So you can go... Are you going to plan to go, like, Standstill? So, hold on. I have a feeling the spells should be on the opposite side. of the lands. Like, I don't want my opponent to have more lands for Decree of Justice. And if you want like another counter spell and a bunch of lands, okay, sure, that's fine. What did they take? They took the Decree of Justice and the Standstill. Sure. Okay, I'm just wondering if this is where I have to play the Naturalize. I think it is. On the Quirion Dryad. Okay, no Standstill yet. Attack! Attack with everything. So one factory, I mean 2 factories can gang up on the Werebear. If they do it this way, then they're just making chump blockers, which is fine. Oh, that's crazy. Okay, I'm gonna go in for some extra damage here. They didn't block the Dryad. Why did they do that? They can just block this thing. That's just more damage. Oh, they had to have made a mistake. There's like no way they did that on purpose. I think I'm gonna keep that sleight of hand on top. I'm gonna draw it. I'm just not gonna play it. Oh, wait. Oh, did I attack with a 1/1? That's why. 3/3. No, it was a 7. It was a 4/4. It was a 4/4. It was a full-fledging 4/4. I will say, with an extra soldier, now they can go Mishra's Factory, block Werebear, and block also with the soldier, and they'll tap Mishra's Factory to give itself +1/+1 and trade with it. So that's a possibility if they want to. Uh-oh. That doesn't look good. Okay, that's board wipe time. Please do not have Mana Leak or Counterspell as you're representing. Super representing. Okay, you got it. There's nothing I can do about it. Okay, we lose everything. We do have the sleight of hand, though. We got to make some good use of it immediately, though. Any order. Oh! I was useless, actually. Given the board, it was pretty bad. Come on. Actually, I had 3 life. They're almost dead. I need a creature, though. Oh, that's terrible. Okay, I got an island. Play my island, pass. I don't know what I'm gonna do now. They have Standstill. No! You know, honestly, most of the lists that I see these days, they don't even play Standstill. I mean, I don't know what the reasoning is. It could be a meta thing. This looks like a good spot. It looks like our opponent is representing Absorb. So, Portent's the worst one. Worst cantrip. I will... Well, as all my other opponents do, I'm going to crack the Standstill. Waiting is foolish. Looks great, actually. Okay, so we're going to keep the Quirion Dryad. Whoops, okay. You have to always select the crappiest thing first. I always forget about that. I'll keep Gush on top because I can actually play that card. In theory. In practice, I don't think it's going to happen. Opponent has so many lands. Phyrexian Furnace, go for it. Furnace it up. Another Standstill? Sure. I guess. Actually, I can't really use Gush next turn, right? That's not going to work. Okay, so let's actually cast Gush now. And the reason is, if I can get my opponent to use up maybe a 3 mana counterspell here. Oh, okay, no. Did not happen. I was hoping that we could get to a point where we play the Quran Dryad, and like I'm hoping they've got Absorb here. Should cancel this. Play, tap this, and our green source. Oh, did I just not select to cast it? All right, crack the Standstill. Impulse is fine. I mean, I'm sure they've got like tons of great cards in hand. This Quran Dryad is not long for this world. Humility. That's gonna make me look stupid. They lose all abilities. So the point here is, I'm gonna show them the days. Let them know I got days in my deck. Okay. Don't be messing with me. I have days. Be scared of this game too. Please be scared. Okay, so this is going to come into play. I have a 2/2, but they have a Mishra's Factory. The problem, so the rule is, it's not going to have any abilities, but it's still going to turn into a 2/2 creature. Man, if we draw Naturalize, that would help. So if I attack, it still becomes an artifact, I think, or maybe not. It becomes an artifact. Yeah, it's still going to become an artifact creature. Damn, that'd be so good if I drew Naturalize, attack. Well, I might as well attack. Actually, no, I need Naturalize to get rid of the stupid Humility. Okay, so this is just going to trade. I'm going to keep all these cards in my hand. We're like basically dead. Sort of looking forward to game 2. Another Standstill. Okay, let's do one. You know what? I've had enough. For the content's sake, let's just move on. Let's move on. We have better things to do here. Let's get our Winter Orbs. It was a close match. It was close. It was super close. Naturalize. Oh, we need Naturalize for the Humility. Definitely. Slam dunk. Get rid of the sleight of hand and just ship it. And of course, I'm not going to play the combo in this matchup. It's silly. They have too much camera magic trying to get through all this crap, and not to mention like Swords to Plowshares that can just kill the Acroma. And they don't have any creatures for the Oath of Druids deck. For an Oath of Druids deck. I think that's the whole point of playing the deck as it is. With the Landstill, as they call it. I'm on like MTG top 8 all the time, looking at blue-white control lists called Landstill, and they have no Standstill in it. I mean, I might be like a bit of a pre-modern noob still, but it would appear to me that it's not a land, it's just blue-white control. Sometimes it's called Landstill. I'm not sure where in the meta the Standstill excels. Probably against like other control-ish decks. Or decks that just don't get any creatures on the battlefield very early. Yeah, I'm pretty confident. Winter Orb helps me sleep at night. I mean, without it, Winter Orb, the match is like... It can go either way, but I'm not super thrilled. They've got, like, these decks have a lot of card advantage and a lot of board wipes, and you can't play at instant speed. That damn forest coming at me again. I have to mulligan this. This hand's great. This hand is actually super premium. We're going to keep, and we're probably going to get rid of foil? Would you get rid of a creature? I think we can get rid of foil. Oh, I don't have a green source here yet. I didn't even realize that. That's okay. We have Winter Orb on turn 2. That's all we need. That's all we need, baby. We'll put that island on the bottom. Actually, do you know what I should have been? Okay, this is a bit of a noob move. I was supposed to play the Flooded Strand first, crack it, so that when we... Well, that's just great. It found its way back. So that I'm not... I mean, I guess I'm taking the island out. I mean, okay, we're thinning the deck, technically, but also... we're not, like, reshuffling bad cards that we scry onto the bottom back into the deck. Like, I know I took the island, but let's say we put a... I don't know what a useless card is right now. Naturalize. Let's say we put a Naturalize on the bottom of our deck. Well, now we just put the Naturalize back on top of the deck. Okay, Standstill is fine. I really hope we draw... Actually, I'm just going to crack it so our opponent draws, like, a bunch of cards. Too many cards. Because if they have to discard to hand size, the Standstill didn't do anything. They're going to go up to 10 cards next turn. Ooh, Gush is great. Gush is great. How do I use this, though? Play, return 2 lands, draw 2 cards, replay, down to 7. That's fine. We drew a Naturalize, which is useless. Pretty useless right now. Yeah, we're looking for a green source. The search for a green source. So our opponent can play a land for the turn and probably just pass. If they discard a card, then they didn't really actually net anything off of their Standstill. Play another Standstill? Damn, I need to play something immediately next turn. Okay, sure, that's fine. They can't even make any use of their mana because they're tapped. Okay, we'll play Portent on ourselves. So Standstills are... Ooh! Mox is great. So we'll put... the Forest is not so great. So... Or actually, maybe the Yavimaya Coast is not so great. Or maybe the... Okay, what do I want more? Forest or Yavimaya Coast? So I'm going to dump one of them. Okay, I don't want the Forest. Use Portent's ability? No. But I can do nothing this turn. For the rest of this turn. So it's like they're always choked on land here. They have 11 cards in hand. Like, what are they going to do? Play a land, pass, and then they have to discard 3 cards? Ooh, there's the Dust Bowl. Ooh, scary. What are you going to do? Discarding Counterspell, Swords, and Teferi's Response? The hell does that do against me? Oh, damn. No, if they Dust Bowl me, I don't care. Like, I really don't care. Doesn't matter to me. Oh, but if I play Island here, I can play Forest and I can play 2 creatures at the same time. I was thinking of defending my board. But they have nothing close to, like, serious counterspells. Oh, sorry, I mean serious board wipes. Okay, I'll attempt to play out my hand. We'll play Kurandride first. This is the least, whoops, this is the least important card in my opinion. Followed up with Werebear. Okay, I didn't expect that. I will still follow it up with Werebear. Because this gives me more mana. So I'll have foil up next turn. If I need it. Impulse is fine. That's very dangerous. So I mean, this Winter Orb is just doing so much work. They found a white source. Disenchant? Oh no! Well, that just wrecks everything I was going to do this game. You still have 1 white source. I don't have the island in my hand anymore. Oh no, I can play the guy's Skyfolk, I guess. Yeah, I can still do that and hold up foil. Oh, but they're so close to just board wipe and then pass. Um, okay, let's just attack. And we'll hold up a guy's Skyfolk. I don't feel so confident anymore. Damn, I needed that island in my hand. How was it's okay. It's okay. We live and learn, people. We live and learn. Oh, just passing back. That's fine-ish. Now we have counterspell. Oh, you want to decree? Does this deck have Decree of Justice? I think it did. We'll just attack for 4. Swords me, do you? No, I think we should fight. No, if I fight, then I can't fight a fact or fiction. I'm not gonna lie. We're in bad shape now. I really needed that Winter Orb to stick around. It didn't. Didn't stick around at all. I was tapping out like this wasn't even gonna be a thing. Yeah, I had to keep the I had to prioritize having foil in my hand. Somehow I played a bit greedy. Too greedy. Now what do I do? Okay, I think I just have to fight. If I don't fight, then I don't know how I win. Oh, I didn't think about this. I could attack. Oh, maybe I shouldn't attack. But, like, I can beat up this Mishra's factory. Board wipe? No board wipe. Okay, good. Land? It's a land, and it's a useful land, too. Okay, let's attack with both these things now. Because we can cast foil and naturalize this turn. I will foil that too. Keep the Mox Diamond up for maximum guess what the hell I'm doing equity. Okay, well, anyway, that didn't work. It's gonna get countered. See what's gonna happen with this Mishra's factory. Sure. So we have to let it block, activate, and then we can naturalize afterwards. Because otherwise, Mana Leak was up. Okay, so they've got no creature in play. It seems like they have a lot of white cards in their hand. But they only have 1 white mana that keeps dealing damage to them, which is to our benefit. We found a Portent. Let's find some good stuff, Portent. I'm just gonna get counterspelled. No. Okay, so my theory is correct. They've got like 1,000,000 cards. Okay, Quirion Dryad, Naturalize. This looks great. Okay. Bottom, top. Shuffle, no. Use all that stuff. Wonder if Dust Bowl is gonna dust off some of my lands. I think our opponent has a Mana Leak and they just don't want to use it. Oh, they have a counterspell. That's fine. So close, yet so far. Are you gonna use 2 mana leaks here? No, just another counterspell. I smell mana leak. What can I do about that, though? Wait a turn and do nothing? What else can be in hand? Okay, there could be disenchant at this point. If there's mana leak, could there be disenchant? I'm just trying to think of like other random cards that could be in their hand. Not Wrath of God. Not lands. Okay, I'm gonna pass. I feel so strongly in my bones that mana leak is on the other side of the table. I just don't want to do anything else. Even though it could be like, it could really backfire on me. Oh, there could be humility. That could be a card in hand. Humility could be in hand. What else could be in hand? Okay, here's Factor. I expected there could also be Factor Fiction. This is interesting. There's no white mana here. There's no white mana. Okay, so this is like the closest to like getting into the game somehow. You want these two things so you can cycle once. These cards are sort of useless together. This is sort of useful, but there's no target for it yet. Or do I put the Mishra's Factory down here too? I don't really give too many lands with Decree of Justice though. So if I give you this, you can't use this. You can sort of use this, but not really. You can definitely use this. We were a bit choked on mana. 3. Or I could give you all these lands, you Decree of Justice for whatever, because I'm in the air at this point. Okay. You know what? I'm just going to leave it like that. Oh, they took the Absorb. Damn. Maybe I gave them too many goodies. Oh, did they have a Dark Heart? Or did they just draw the Dark Heart Wastes? Or were they just trolling me? Okay, so the thing is, if they go for Humility, then they don't have mana for Absorb. So we'll let that resolve. And I still think our opponent has Mana Leak, so I'm not going to play Naturalize right now. So we're going to go for, try to counter, or sorry, we're going to disenchant the Humility, attack in for 2. I knew it. I knew it. I'm going to pay for it. And once they go to 2, they can't Wrath the board anymore, because these are both the pain lands. What do? They need Swords to Plowshares, or they need to play their own spell and then counter it with Absorb? It's like the only other line? Oh man, this is late. I could use that last turn and just put our opponent lights out. If I win, I gotta be really fast going into game 3, because I only have 7 minutes versus the opponent's 14. Alright, so we tied it up. I got a little lucky, I would say. Got a little lucky. Things broke our way. Opponent had very awkward mana. The mana is still awkward in Premodern. You don't get that in the other formats. I will change nothing. Just submit this. Naturalize, people. Without that Naturalize, we were screwed to that Humility. Okay, we gotta play faster. We gotta play much faster. Our control opponent has double the time that we do. I was hoping for a variety of decks out there. You know, I don't know what it is about Premodern, but I always seem to find, okay, this is interesting. I have no creature. I'm gonna keep it though. I think Winter Orb is worth it. I think Winter Orb is definitely worth it. We got creature now, so now we're on our hunt for... Oh, we have Portent. Okay, we're looking for a green source. We found it. I like all these cards, so we'll put... Oh, shoot. How are we gonna do this? I'm gonna draw 2. Okay, I have Gush, so I can replay Mox Diamond. I was just trying to figure out, like, if I next turn if I play Flooded Strand, then I'm going to lose the land on the bottom. Supports Potence ability. No, not going to shuffle. Looks good to me, and we're just going to go with it. So our opponent wants to play this next turn. Oh, just pass. Okay, it's fair. Flooded Strand, and probably do nothing. Probably that's the line. And then we go opt at end of turn, and then next turn we can try to go for something. Or no, actually, you know, we can just go... Okay, hold on, cancel. Let's fetch first. Let's build the graveyard. I keep pretending like sleight of hand is Portent. Found another Mox Diamond. I don't need that. Too many Mox Diamonds. We'll take the Naturalize, I guess. And then we'll play opt at end of turn. That's great, actually. So we're going to let that resolve. That was actually perfect for us. So end of turn, we're going to opt, make them crack the standstill. They're going to have to discard to hand size. They drew, I guess they drew 2 cards out of that. Another Winter Orb. Oh, wow, do I keep it on top? Just so I have like a spare Winter Orb just in case. Maybe I do. Yeah, I think it's... Yeah, I'm just going to do that. We're going to keep a Winter Orb. Oh my god, the possibility. Okay, I have to play fast. Okay, so we're going to Gush. We're going to start casting cards. Maybe this is stupid. Okay, I'm now going to have to discard to hand size. Cast this. Discard our island. Oh, I can play several things. Okay, so first off we play Winter Orb, and second we play Werebear. Okay, this worked out as I had in my head, in theory. I have so many Winter Orbs. Winter Orbs for days. That's fine. We got backup. We have backup Winter Orbs. You only help me. You only help me. I hope they have another disenchant, which makes me look really smart for keeping the other Winter Orb. So anyway, we were prepared for that, because I knew our opponent had disenchant in the deck. Please have another disenchant. Do it. Do it. Do it. Oh, damn. Took care of the Werebear. Werebear down. It's okay. We have another one. We got backup. Yeah, if we can draw one more island, that would be just great. I could actually empty my hand a little bit more. Attack. I will probably do nothing at this particular moment. And like every board wipe is just gonna suck. basically. Okay, we'll opt at end of turn. Looking for lands, specifically an island if we can. Ugh. Well, I can turn it into a Mox Diamond, but that sucks, because I really want an island for the Gush. Sure. I guess, maybe. Okay, we'll put it on top. I'll keep it. I can't think for too long. It's going to be my undoing. Again, attack for 4. Saving up all this mana for what I don't know. Maybe it's just better to just play the forest and pass. Because I should have saved the Mox Diamond for Gush. Our opponent has built up a reserve of lands. They were patient. They have a lot of mana. Okay, Wrath of God, that's totally fine. It's totally fair. I don't mind. Every one of our stupid little creatures is now really lethal. Let's get our Current Dried out. It gets hit by a counterspell, that's fine. It's like land destruction almost. And these Sky folks are lethal. They're very dangerous. We have huge... We're like winning on mana. We're winning everywhere. And that should be game. Okay, I've drawn... I forgot it. I didn't even notice I drew a counter spell. We'll just play another one. They might had some plan to block with Fairy Conclave, but that plan is going to fail miserably. Love that Conclave. Huge fan of Conclave. Impulse, sure. Probably looking for its Swords to Plowshares. But this is like pretty hopeless. Or maybe they're looking for... No, they can't... Yeah, it has to be Swords to Plowshares. Which I can counter comfortably. Just win. I mean, I could just let it resolve and we attack for 2 and then attack on the following turn. Alright, already with 2-0 in our little journey into Premodern with my Miracle Grow Oath deck. Let's hope we can find a matchup where the Oath part of the deck is good. See you in round 3. For our third round, we won the die roll. We don't have a creature in hand. We don't even have a second land, so I think I'm going to mulligan this because we would have to look for like a creature plus land. I think that's a little bit too much. I try to mulligan to at least a hand with a creature. This is perfect. Yeah, we can keep this. And we'll probably throw the forest to the bottom so we can maximize blue sources. Especially with Quirion Dryad, the forest is not that good. I already have a forest in play, so done. Maybe I'm just not even going to do anything. I think we're just going to play this Flood is Strand and pass. I think we're just going to play Flood. And actually, we're probably going to go turn to Werebear so that we can go Quirion Dryad into Opt and Daze and all that fun stuff. Ancient Spring. Enters tapped, add a blue, sack it. We're up against some sort of ramp deck. I'm going to basically... Okay, we're going to thin our deck. We're going to thin our deck. Which is not really a strategy, but it is today. Okay, let's play our bear. We got a bear. The bears. The bears. You know what? The fact that we drew the island, maybe I regret this. Probably we should have went Quirion Dryad. It's just that if I didn't have the guaranteed third land, I should be going for... I'm wondering, maybe I should counter this Portent. Our opponent is, at least in my opinion, is on some sort of combo deck if they're willing to sack lands to get extra mana. Or, no. We gotta wait. We're gonna wait to get the Quirion Dryad in play. Yeah, with the third land, I could go easily Werebear next turn because I could have dazed that right now. That would have been great. Is our opponent choked on mana? Nope, not quite. But they are ready to go big or go home. They're super ready to go big or go home. Another land, which is fine. Well, actually, I should say it's not fine. Helps grow a Werebear, though. At the very least. Get our Cruon Dried out. I will start dazing things like crazy if I'm allowed to. See, we could have dazed that last card. I guess we could have dazed the Portent. And then attack for 2 this turn. Then play the Werebear and still have Opt. Or I would have fired the Opt, actually, immediately. So we could have attacked for 3 that turn. Let's see if that 3 damage matters. This deck is very weak to back to basics. not that we're playing it. You want to go for it, opponent? You can go for it. Alright, let's opt. Let's grow our Cruon Dryad. Cruon Dryad gonna get bigger. We're looking for more card draw. Ooh, that was perfect. Yeah, let's put it on top. Let's get a gush. Let's go to our turn. That wasn't bad either. So we're going to... let's just go for a big turn here. Okay, we'll play the Werebear. We'll float a mana. We'll gush. Then we can replay one of these islands on this turn. Also with Mox Diamond. We don't have to do that yet. We can play Opt right now. Well, the damage we're missing, we could probably have close to lethal soon. Put that on the bottom. Draw another island. A bit disappointing, but whatever. Given the number of lands that we've drawn so far, I am not liking our chance that we could attack for 5. Damn. We could probably attack for lethal if I'd played this Cruon Dryad first. Maybe we'll still be in a shape. Okay, hold on. So if they play a spell and it gets countered, what happens? I'll have 4, 8, 13. Okay, maybe it's still close. Maybe it's still close. We just have to hope our opponent isn't going to like combo off this turn. But it looks sort of like a critical turn where they should do it. Oh, I forgot. Oh, no. No, not forget. There is a line, remember, you can just throw the Mox Diamond away for nothing and put in the graveyard, but then I wouldn't have thrown a land into the graveyard. Well, this Daze is looking pretty stupid here. This is a lot of mana. I don't even know what our opponent's on. This is some sort of combo deck. It's very lonely Daze. Lion's Eye Diamond. Okay, we screwed here. We screwed. We're going to get comboed out here. It's a very lonely looking Daze. I guess, okay, this is my hope. My hope is our opponent passes the turn, hoping that, like, I don't know, fearing that we have a counterspell, and then we draw a random blue card that we can counter our own card. Sack this, add 1 mana of any color, draw a card at the beginning of the next end step. That's fine. Okay, so they sack the Crystal Vein. They have an extra mana in the pool. Sacking another land. Whatever they're doing it now. So even if I played Cruon Dryad like turn 2, probably wasn't enough. At least in this game. I have no idea what our opponent's doing. I'm not familiar with this deck. So you're going to sack and draw something at end of turn. The opponent is all in. Balancing act. Each player chooses a number of permanents they control equal to the number of permanents controlled by the player who controls the fewest, then sacrifices the rest. Oh, so I have basically nothing. Oh, I do get to keep my Mox Diamond, though. Well, that's fantastic. Each player chooses a number of permanents they control equal to the number of permanents controlled, then sacrifice. Oh, actually, okay, so there's one left, so I get to keep my Quirion Dryad. So let's... I guess we're gonna... Okay, hold on, I'm gonna float a mana. I guess we're gonna daze this. I don't know if this helps me in any way. So we have like, I don't know, I maximize the number of islands I get to keep. And then if you keep one Lion's Eye Diamond, I'm gonna keep one Quirion Dryad. And where the game goes from there, I have no idea. Or maybe I didn't need to be so greedy. Maybe I should just let this thing resolve. Because maybe they'll sack... Well, I mean, if they crack the Lion's Eye Diamond, they'll have nothing in hand. We'll have at least 3 lands. We probably are favored from there. I mean, they'll draw 1 card from this barbed thing. Okay, so that's not too bad. Okay, what was in the graveyard, though? Roar of the Worm, Flashback. Okay, okay. I think we can come back from this. I guess that was the... Oh no, but they have a bunch of floating mana for the Roar of the Worm. That's the whole idea. Okay, so I should have just let it resolve, and we could have... It would have been a 6/6 versus our 4/4, which we could still buff up into the future. Now we'll have nothing. Why'd they do it like that? I don't get it. Yeah, we'll sacrifice everything. I don't get a choice. Done. That's so weird. They gave me the option to keep my Quirion Dryad, which can outgrow this thing. Well, anyway, we now know what this deck is all about, so I won't make the same mistake in the future. We should be dead here. Stone dead. Because with Quirion Dryad in play, I mean, I could easily just draw, like, a cantrip, right? That would have been the worst draw ever. Could have drawn a cantrip, Portent into like another something, and then even outgrow the 6/6 and then go for the win. Well, I don't think we should go for any of this stuff. Would Winter Orb be good here? That's a good question. Maybe not, because they're planning on just sacking everything. Or could show. Maybe I could show and I could bring in Show and Tell and the Achroma. Well, it doesn't matter. They have Balancing Act to just blast everything away. So the bottom line is I just need like a foil or a counter spell for their like one big thing, and Quirion Dryad can outrace the Roar of the Worm, and also guys Skyfolk can fly over it. Just think we just click it back. I think we just click it back. It seems like a really high-risk, high-reward deck. And I don't even think we're particularly vulnerable to it. Imagine the deck plays like, I don't know, something like Silence. That might force us to like burn a counterspell before they go off. Also, they needed to like naturally draw into all their stuff. We have no green source, but it's 1,000,000 creatures. We're going to keep it. Actually, a million creatures sometimes is a bad thing. Because, like, Quirion Dread doesn't combo into Quirion Dread very well. None of this is any good. We need a green source. Use Portent's ability? Yes, we will use Portent's ability. Hopefully we can find a green source by the next 2 draw steps. If not, Sleight of Hand maybe can find us one. And it does! Excellent. Now we could use, like, a blue... now we could use an island. Okay, so unlike last game, we're going to start off with Quirion Dryad. And probably into another Quirion Dryad, because that's just the fastest clock. Not sure what we're going to do if we draw a blue source, because I might want to play Quirion Dread into Sleight of Hand, but at the same time, I need the island in hand for foil. Sure. So this is a mana producer, sack it, add 1. It's just it's an egg. Counterspell is a great draw. Attack for 1. I guess I just have to hope my opponent just doesn't, you know, quote-unquote combo off next turn. If they do, it would kill me. I mean, I got no other lands in hand. Quiet Speculation. Search target player's library for up to 3 cards with flashback. Put them into the graveyard so they're searching for themselves. So I guess they're just going to put a bunch of Roar of the Worms in the graveyard. Yep, Roar of the Worm and Quiet and deep analysis. Going deep on that analysis. See, they can play one next turn for 4 mana. Like probably, maybe not. Okay, let's attack. Okay, we'll attack for 2. And I'll just probably counterspell anything that they play next turn. I want to say I have a turn up, because like a lot of their lands seem to enter the battlefield tap, but if they have some lands that don't... Well, no, sorry, if they really want to, they can sack a land to get this Roar of the Worm in play. We'll counter this. This grows our Quirion Dryads, puts them a little less on mana, or puts them a little less on cards. And then we'll fire off Sleight of Hand next turn to hopefully find an island to use on foil. Sure, Portent can resolve. Svelunite Temple. They're really all in on this big mana thing. I found a forest, which is not particularly useful. Want an island. I want an island in hand. I guess we'll take the land, so that at least we have, what's it called, we'll have foil available by next turn. And pass. The concern though is that they sort of have to go for it here. Maybe I should, yeah, maybe I shouldn't have played that land. Maybe I should have just kept it in my hand. So that after they go for it, I can at least rebuild from here. Oh my god, if I don't if I don't have, or if they don't go for it and I don't have lethal by next turn, I'll be sort of upset that I didn't like throw a werebear out there. Now, from our opponent's perspective, it looks like we have a lot of counter magic in hand, but they have to go for it. I mean, like, their deck looks, I mean, I don't know the entire composition of the deck, but the deck seems pretty janky if the only way to wipe the board is that 4-mana balance. Okay, they declined to use Portent's ability, so they found something that they like on top of the deck. They're playing more lands, which means they're probably not going to wipe the board this turn. Maybe they're going to go for a Roar the Worm? The low cost of sacking 2 lands in play. And they'll play another barbed thing of a bobber. At this point, I'm a bit paranoid. Okay, I'm not going to crack Flooded Strand because I sort of want to draw a land. I drew an Opt. I guess we're going to be cracking that. Attack. No blocks. Okay, I'm going to fetch. I'm going to fetch out an island. We'll opt. I have a feeling that's the end of the game here. Unless there's like a fog or something. Okay, we won. Not bad. Is Winter Orb good? All the lands come into play tap. That's awful. That's just awful for our opponent. But they can sack them. And there's also like Lotus Petal, Lion's Eye Diamond. It feels like Winter Orb is supposed to be good here. Yeah, it feels like Winter Orb is supposed to be good. I'm going to side it in. It's probably dubious, but it might be better than Naturalize, because I have no idea what to use Naturalize in this matchup. At least I haven't seen it. I mean, I guess I could Naturalize a Lion's Eye Diamond. That's possible. Our hand looks decent. Hand looks decent. We'll probably go like turn 2 Werebear into Winter Orb. Into like a Quirion Dryad. Or maybe even turn 2... I'm going to Portent. I'm not going to save this for Quirion Dryad. Foil. I like that, actually. Okay, so we're going to keep all these cards. We're going to keep the Yavimaya Coast, the foil, and the Sleight of Hand. So we're going to have foil available. Or I'm going to hoard it in my hand for as long as possible. So I think turn 2, we'll go Werebear. Yeah, we'll actually go Werebear. Even though, like, Winter Orb would be fine here, but I think it would choke myself just as much as it chokes my opponent. Whereas if we go Werebear first, we can then go Quirion Dryad into Winter Orb next turn. And we'll always have more mana than our opponent because... well, I wouldn't say always have more mana than our opponent, but we'll at least have Werebear up. And with Foil in hand, I can always discard some random card to make it useful. So, like, to at least protect ourselves from the board wipe. The wipe of all wipes. Sure, this thing can come to play. If you have a Maya Coast, we will start with Quirion Dryad. Then hopefully make our opponent's mana awkward with Winter Orb. It's like all their lands that come into play are going to come into play tapped. And so it's like they have to wait 2 turns to get the land or get enough mana. Or or we're going to force our opponent to just start sacking mana. What came into play? This turn, this thing? No, this thing? No, it all comes into play tapped. Pyroclasm? That's very rude. So, no. No. That's why we kept the foil in our hand. And I guess we're going to keep the Gaia's Skyfolk. We can cast that card. Although, I guess it could die to Pyroclasm. That's okay. It's not going to kill the Quirion Dryad. And Gaia's Skyfolk, because it is a blue card, will pump up the Quirion Dryad. Okay, we are a little bit vulnerable, though. Our opponent could, like, untap a land. Well, I guess they could untap 2 lands and then make us sack everything. I didn't really want... yeah, to be honest, I didn't really want to cast that foil there, but we have to keep the pressure on the battlefield. But, I mean, at the same time, I don't think our opponent has a whole lot of control over finding that balance card. Sacrifice this land, add 1 mana of any color. Okay, so you have 3 mana at the moment. We have Opt. Well, let's slide a hand first. Pump up the Quirion Dryad. Found Island. Let's... oh no, we want the Flooded Strand to pump up the Werebear. So we can fetch, opt, and pump up everything. And put a 2-turn clock on the opponent. And so, like, whatever they have, they gotta show it. We'll opt. In response, we're going to gain a little bit more life. Ooh, gosh. Put on top. Can we find an answer to this? Let's see. Sort of going off here. Nope. Attack for 6, which is respectable. Maybe I want to hoard all this stuff in my hand. Just in case the board does get blown up. Anyway, I already made my land drop for the turn, so I can't play land anyway. We still need another green source for the second guy, Skyfolk. So So I have a 2-turn clock, so we're just not going to do anything on the ground. I'm not going to add any. I don't think I'm going to add anything else to the ground. We'll untap the Avamaya Coast for any cantrips that we might draw. That is nice, but it doesn't do anything at the moment. Okay, attack for 6. If anything gets interacted with, we'll add to the board. If nothing gets interacted with, that's all we'll put on the battlefield. Or do I want to? Okay, so what's the option? A land can get untapped. They could sack 5. They could get 5 mana. They can't even cast the first Roar of the Worm. Okay, maybe I'll just put a Flooded Strand out to thin the deck of an... If somehow the board gets wiped, we can thin the deck of an island so that we can get a little bit closer to a green source for our Werebear and Gaia's Skyfolk. The ideal thing for us would be they play Lion's Eye Diamond, discard their hand to get a Roar of the Worm in play or 2, and then we untap and we like put Skyfolk and Werebear in play and just attack over for the victory. I think I recognize my opponent, Yatsik. I think they play a lot of brews. I think every single time I play against them, they have some new deck. I do think there's like a lot of room for brewing in Premodern. I mean, in some sense, like my deck is a brew. I don't see no one's playing this type of deck. I mean, it's like, it's not quite the Super Grow deck, and it's not quite an Oath deck. It's just like a mishmash of those two combined. So I think I have more consistency but less power than a Super Grow deck. And then I have like maybe more of an all-in combo versus the matchups that I want to go all-in combo against, but no weaknesses to like the anti-combo decks or the creatureless decks, because I'm sure Oath has some problems versus control. All right, so play stuff and pass. I'm just going to attack for victory. Is that enough? Or is there like another Swords to Plowshares? Nope, we won. We won. We did it. All right, we went 3-0, which is as much as I think I'm going to do in this format. All right, so we've got... Oh, well, yeah, I wish we saw a little bit of the combo here. Also, maybe a little bit more other... Well, I mean, we were up against basically a combo deck and 2 control decks. Funny enough, you know, I said so much crap about Winter Orb earlier, and Winter Orb basically saved the day versus us in 3 out of 3 matchups. But I still stand by it. Like, I don't think it's a main deck card. I think it's a sideboard card for all those decks. Otherwise, it's just going to slow you down versus everything else. Like, I think the main deck is super well positioned to take advantage of Winter Orb. Werebear and Mox Diamond are fantastic cards to run alongside a Winter Orb. But I just can't put it in the main deck. There's just too many decks. There's just too many decks that just don't care. And then for the decks that do care, that's great. That's fine. Side it in. I hope you enjoyed the deck. So if there was a big Premodern tournament that I had to be ready for tomorrow, I would play this. I technically don't have the cards for it because I don't own a playset of Mox Diamonds, but this is the deck that I would be looking to play. Otherwise, I'm also very interested in the Monoblue Tide deck, because that's how I basically cut my teeth in this game, is playing Monoblue Control. That's exactly how I played when I first started playing the game. But I think this has enough of a merfolk feel to it that it feels like very, very similar. And we'll show in the future this powerful sideboard plan, and especially how hilarious nobody sees it. No, I wouldn't say nobody sees it coming. If you play against me enough in Premodern, you might see it coming. But for the people who haven't, it's very, very, I guess, unsettling. They sideboard preparing for some Quirion Dread deck, then all of a sudden I play Oath of Druids turn 2 versus your Jackal Pup and just smash you with an Acroma Angel of Wrath. If you like the Premod, you like this deck, give a thumbs up, and I'm certainly going to play it some more because I really like this format. This has been Nikachu, Merfolk Master, but also playing Premodern in Premodern.